What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Real Reds Talk, an authentic football fan channel made in Manchester. It is Saturday, it is the weekend, and we have a Saturday afternoon news show with you guys. With two other people alongside me as well. What a nice surprise. Chivi and Shreyas, how's your weekend doing so far, lads?
It's been all right. It's been all right. It's been a good start.
Hmm?
Yeah, hearing a few good rumors and a bit, it's a mix and match, but in totality, it's been an all right start.
Okay, I like that positive start. Chivi, are you
Yeah.
gonna take it up a notch or just an average weekend so far?
No, it's good. I had ice cream for breakfast. So
Ice cream for breakfast? Okay,
Even
well,
I
what?
had ice cream for breakfast.
Ice
it's
cream?
like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like a recent obsession, man. I've gone through 2 tubs in the past. What since
Are you
Thursday?
going for a breakup? That's what I want to know at the moment. Because that's what they usually say, isn't it? If you're going through Haagen-Dazs, Maroon 5 on the headphones, and you're looking through a rainy window, that kind of old. You
That's
know what I'm
actually
saying?
the brand I'm on. I'm on
Is
Haagen-Dazs
it?
salted caramel. Can't go wrong, man.
Oh,
Salted
wow.
caramel,
Yeah, but for your
amazing.
breakfast,
Yeah.
though, it's quite heavy, that.
No, I was just in bed. Just yeah.
So he's like, fuck it.
Anyway, yeah, good. Good weekend.
Well, we're not going to be discussing. Maybe if we've got time towards the end, we can discuss what kind of ice creams we like. But we are going to talk about some icy deals. Elise to Bayern. Shocked absolutely everyone. We're going to discuss that. Joao Neves price drop, Chiesa swap deal, Luke Shaw concerns with his injuries at the Euros as well. He may not even play another game, a game at all at the tournament, which isn't great news. And then I actually want to talk to you about that disallowed goal last night as well, because that was fucking horrendous. But that's just something we can kind of finish with. So we'll start with Elise to Bayern Munich. Again, Ornstein out of the blue. Like, you didn't hear a whisper about this. And Ornstein, the goal, just boom, I just announced it like it was nothing. So, for anyone who hasn't seen it, Olise is set to join Bayern Munich, snubbing Chelsea because they seemed like the favourites at one point. United had set to still hold interest in the winger, but due to still needing to sell players and other priorities which needed attending to, it just the timing was off on it, lads. But yeah, what your initial reaction, Chivi, to Elise moving Bayern? Good move, do you think?
Yeah, really good move for him for his career. Like that's a career move.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of Bellingham, when everyone was going in for him, and then he went to Dortmund, and I think the Bundesliga is a really good league for the skills that he has. He's a very technical player. It's a slower league to the Prem, and I think it's just going to be amazing for him. It's a very good career move. I think he was advised really well. I know that Chelsea is like his boyhood club, and I think he went through the academy. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's like a Chelsea product.
Mm.
So there was a lot of expectation that he might go back there. But I think it's a good move for him. I'm quite happy for him, and yeah, I mean he'd have some quality players around him, good environment. I know company is the manager. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work out, but just in general, I think it's a really good move. There's less pressure, I think, at Bayern than there would be at maybe Chelsea or United.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it's a good move for him, man.
I would suggest probably the manager's had a big influence. Obviously, he's managing the Premier League. You've seen him before, and they've kind of said, "Look, we're looking at a winger. This is obviously speculation. No one knows, but we're looking at a winger. Do you have anyone in mind? What type of profile you'd like to bring in?" And they're like, "Look, listen. If you get a hold of release, 60 million release clause. Bayern like dealing with them kind of things. They don't like going astronomical on players. I know they spent 100 million, for example, but they don't typically spend." Astronomical money on players, do they? So I think the company probably had a say in it, but I think you look at their forward line now, Shreyas, Musiala, Kane, Elise. That's just outrageous, isn't it?
Yeah, and they've got a good build up. If you look at Musiala and Olise, both are really really young. They've also got a good blend of experience, with the likes of Sane being there. I think Coman is still there as well at Bayern. So they've got a
Yeah.
good blend of experience as well as youth talent as well. And probably he can help out Musiala a lot as well. Being that young generational kid in that attacking line, and it actually works out quite well for Harry Kane too. He's going to have another person who's going to be able to deploy and create chances for him in the final third. So for Bayern and for him, I think it's a very solid and a very, you know, I think it's a deal that they had to make because they needed a new winger and they had the same wingers for quite some time. They needed a new blend in that winger position as well. So Olise for them is, I think it's a very smart signing. But Yeah, I think for Olise as well, like Chivi mentioned as well, that the league is quite slow, and with the kind of skill set that he brings to the table, it is actually quite a decent move for him.
Yeah, bringing it back to United
Can I just
slightly,
can I
Chivik.
just add, can I just add
Go on.
one thing just to what
Of
Shreyas was
course, yeah.
saying? With like Olise, like linking up with other players and Musiala, like it's a bit off topic, but just as a Nigerian, sometimes I just think like if the Nigerian FA could just get their shit together, like some of the players we could have, because Musiala is Nigerian as well, Olise is Nigerian, like we could have, I mean, the team we could put together, like just imagine them two playing together. It's crazy. Because we've got like Alaba as well, and Akanji, and Karim Adeyemi, and Saka. I mean, the list is so long. Like, if we could just have that sort of thing, it's a bit off topic, sorry, but I just
Yeah.
needed to flex a little bit.
Just
But,
a
yeah,
little bit selfish perspective. You selfish bastard.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then imagine them two at Bayern Munich. Like, it would be, come on, it would be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, but to bring it back to United, because obviously we was linked with him, Chivet. I know you guys will know I'm quite reactive to stuff that goes, like when journalists put something out, can't take emotion out of it, whereas I would almost say you're the opposite, in the sense where you're just cool, calm, collected, wait to see what happens. But on this one, I've looked at kind of the wingers that we've bought. So you look at Di Maria, Antony, Sancho, you got Greenwood, who's still at the club as well. We've still got Pellistri that we probably need to sell. And we've got two fantastic options in Ahmad and Garnacho. So this Elise deal, for me personally, I was never kind of asked about it. I was like, if we've got enough money towards the back end of the window, go for him. So has it affected you at all? Are you asked that we've not got him, or do you think it's priorities basically going into this window?
No, I think I share the same sentiment as you do on this one as well. I mean, obviously, I admire the player and I would have loved to have him at United, but I was more thinking the money, like 60 million. I mean, if you look at how much we've spent on right wingers, we're talking about this like a week or 2 weeks ago. The money we spent on right wingers in the past, I mean, we spent 80 on Sancho, then spent another
Crazy,
80 on Anthony. Like, yeah. And then we'll splash out another 60 on Olise. Like, we've got other positions to prioritize. And then bringing Olise in, even though it's good, but then that's another blockage for someone like Ahmad. Like, why don't we try using what we have at the moment, strengthening other places that are more pressing, and then going forward? Like Ratcliffe said in the interview that he did with Bloomberg, like he said it before as well. Like it would take time. You can't solve everything in one window.
Yeah.
So focus on the priority, and then next time, then maybe next summer, we have some more money to spend on more luxury signings like the Olises and some of the other players that we're looking for. So yeah, I share the same sentiment as you. I never thought it was going to come anyway. I thought he would rather choose Chelsea.
Yeah.
And it's just a bit of, we spend big money on the player, comes in, there's more pressure on his back, the press, the fans, you know how fans are. He plays one game and then it doesn't really do well, and then everyone's on his back. So yeah, I'm cool with it. I'm very, very relaxed about the move.
The Chelsea thing never made sense to me either, though, because they've got Madueke, who plays on the right side. They've got Cole Palmer, who plays on the right predominantly for him. They've got like Nkunku, who can play across the front line. They've got Sterling, who's still there on like 300 grand a week. They've got Mudryk. Like that never made sense. It just felt like he was going in doing a Todd Bowley thing. Like there was just he's a player going decent. He's a bit of money. Let's just go and buy him. So yeah, I'm not bothered. I'm fine with it. I think we've got other shit that we need to sort out personally. And that being Shreyas, a centre back, midfield, and striker, the priority for me personally. And then if we've got kind of wiggle room towards the end, then we can do a deal, right?
Yeah, surely, because the thing is, the right wing position for me and the wing position in general, we still got players in there. Like genuinely, we still got a lot of players in there. You've got Rashford, you've got Garnacho, you've also got Ahmad. So you've got 3 players who can actually start for you week in and week out in those in that winger position. And apart from it, right now we do have a lot of other positions that really need a lot of attention to. Rafa Varane is gone, so that centre back position needs to be filled as soon as possible, because with the kind of experience he had and this whenever he did play, how solid he was and how composed he was, we need someone who can be who can do that sort of a job for us week in week out again. So for me, centre back is definitely a priority, and not just one. We probably would genuinely need 2 centre backs, moving into next season. Then
Because
we
remember,
also,
we might lose Lindelof
yeah,
as well.
yeah, exactly my point. So if Lindelof goes to Fenerbahce, we need 2 centre backs there, because
Yeah.
even if Lindelof doesn't go, you cannot. I'm still not sold on Lisandro being available for a
I
full
know.
season. He's
His
still not.
fitness. Yeah.
Since he's come in, he's never had a full fit season for us. Never. He's been there, but he's never been there for a full season. So we do need 2 centre backs with the way things are looking right now. We might also need a left back, considering how the situation is with Malasia
Might.
and Luke Shaw.
Did you say we
And
might need?
yeah, we don't. I just really don't know how we are going to generate funds, because
No,
we
I know what
still,
you're saying.
yeah,
It's stretched, isn't it? The budget's fucking.
exactly. And if we go in for 2 centre backs, even if Lindelof ends up going, I doubt he's going to be bringing in anything more than 10 million. So yeah, if I think if we get a good deal for 2 centre backs, we'll at least be spending around 60, 65, or 70 million at least on getting 2 centre backs in. And then we need to go in and get someone in the midfield as well, and then a striker. So, it is going to be quite pricey. Even if
Yeah.
we get good deals, it's going to be quite pricey. And then, even if money is left, that's where a left back is going to be coming in. That's when probably another midfielder is going to be coming in, because we need a lot of reinforcements in that position. And there are still big question marks over a lot of players in the squad right now. Players like McTominay, players like Maguire. I would even say players like Mount, because I still don't know how he's going to be functioning in this system or in this team moving into next season. And he's genuinely a big question mark, because if you're not going to use him and he's just going to be, filling space on the bench or in that team, it's really not worth it. So Mount is definitely a big question as well. And then how much money you're left with after getting a striker, how much money we are going to be getting if we offload Greenwood, Sancho, and all the other players. It's everything is a big question mark. So how we are going to be recruiting, what kind of players we end up going for now that Olise is gone, probably the main focus actually shifts somewhere else, and hopefully it's into a centre back or a midfielder, because those are the 2 positions that we genuinely need a lot of players.
Also, as well, sorry, voice going. Also, as well, I wonder what's going to happen with the midfield situation, because that's going to get pricey if Casemiro
Yeah.
leaves. If Casemiro even leaves, even if he wants to go to Saudi, that's not like a full-blown
I think
conclusion
the
either.
deal with Saudi fell through. Something like that happened.
Yeah,
with,
that's what he was saying. I
that
didn't
it
know a
was
deal
advanced.
was pending with
Yeah.
Saudi. I know there was interest, but
Yeah, it
right.
said that it was quite advanced, and then it fell through. The deal broke off at the final stages.
Well, didn't Romano say recently? I think it was yesterday. I watched the
Yeah.
thing, and he said there's 2 clubs that was actually in for
Yeah.
him. So there's still hope. It's still a possibility that he goes. Well, yeah, it's still a possibility that he goes.
Yeah.
Even though I'm against it, but yeah, there's still a possibility that he might go. So.
Yeah.
Right, we'll talk about the midfield in a moment. So I want to read out some comments. There's quite a few. Make sure you smash the like on the video, by the way, if you're watching live or if you're watching later on. Fucking hell, my chest, man. A lot of people discussing what they've had for breakfast. You sparked something in each other. Tim99, just making beans on toast. Kangan says ice cream for breakfast is the biggest news today. So Kangan's happy about that. Sam saying breaking news, Chivy eats breakfast of an 8-year-old's dream. Brian's back from being timed out. Lovely to see you. We've got bigger issues to fill right now than a right winger. Absolutely agree. Do we need more creativity on the right who can keep the ball? I would say Ahmad answers that question, but lads, what do you think?
Yeah.
Ahmad, 100%. I think he deserves a run.
Yeah.
He does.
He's shown us that he deserves a run.
Yeah. Afternoon, everyone. Elise would have been a deal we should have done later in the window. We need more key positions to fill first. So everyone's on the same wavelength at the moment. Nigerians being scammed out of players. Okay. Slightly ironic. Do you think the rumours are true about Greenwood and a Chiesa swap? Well, we've got that on the agenda, so we'll get into that in a moment. Don't worry about that. Abibi saying United, I want Xerxes, Inacio, Frimpong, Humlin, Gay, Calafiori in. This guy's spending way too much money. I don't know where we're going to get all that
300 million.
Yeah, 300 million window. Lovely. Right, let's talk about Joao Neves then, because there's a little bit of hope. This has become almost my new Frenkie de Jong. I'm obsessed with this player at the moment.
So
I
it
really,
won't
really like
happen.
him. So yeah, that's there's similar
It's not happening.
comparisons. Probably what happened. I'm not going to get as emotionally wrapped up in that deal as I did with the de Jong one. But so the situation with Benfica at the moment is, Chiesa, they had hoped to sell Antonio Silva, the centre back. They wanted like 80 to 100 for, but the second half of the season he's had a little bit of a drop off. So now they're looking at Neves as that potential one who's going to bring in the funds, because they need to sell players effectively. And their initial stance was 100 million euros or nothing. But now apparently they're going to drop the price lower, according to quite a few journalists. So that could spark a little bit of a bidding war. But in terms of profile of a midfielder, what do you specifically want? So do you want like a Paulinho and a Rodri, or would you not mind a hybrid? Or yeah, what kind of guy do you want in there?
At the moment, I want a hybrid, like
Yeah.
someone similar to what Kobe does, but maybe a little bit more defensive. Because to be fair,
Fofana,
Kobe's
Monaco?
skills.
He's one.
I've heard a lot about him, but I don't know
Not
anything
seen.
about him. I've just heard his name.
That's fair.
So I don't know too much about him. Neves as well. Like I know of him. I've heard the hype. I've seen a couple of comps. So I mean, he must be highly rated with the way everyone talks about him. So,
He's good. He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would like someone, a bit of a hybrid and a little bit of experience, especially if Casemiro goes. We would need that sort of experience in the midfield. So I wouldn't be too fussed about having like a superstar. I'm not saying Neves is, but I would like someone that's a little bit more conservative, but can get the job done, because modern football is different. It's like the game has evolved so much now, and it's shifting towards, it's not about individuals anymore. It's more about the system and having the players that can fit that system. And I think if we can go out there and get a good deal, hopefully we get Neves. But if we don't, I would like for us to get someone that sort of can feel that sort of conservative role, someone that comes with no pressure on his back, not too much high expectation, but just someone that can literally just come in and blend with the players around him. So I don't have anyone in mind, but I have at least like a profile of a sort of player that I'd like to have. But just someone with it, I'd like to have maybe someone in his like mid-20s who's played a couple of seasons, that can come and then just bring that little bit of experience at the back, well, in the midfield as well.
Yeah. The profile's going to be interesting, isn't it, Shreyas? Because the video I did on Joao Neves, I mentioned how he could work and why it would be fantastic. I don't give it all away for people who haven't seen it, but I also speak about the height of the midfield as well and the physicality that's involved with it. That's an issue, isn't it? Because you bring in Joao Neves, he's quite small. Mainu's, I know he's relatively strong on the ball, but he's quite small as well. Bruno's quite weedy, doesn't...
Manu is 6 foot tall.
Yeah, I remember that. I seen that on the Lions Den, actually. I was watching it when they measured him, and he was like, "No, I'm 6 foot, bro. I'm telling you, I'm 6 foot." But I'm saying, like,
when you see him standing with other players, well, I get what you mean, though. I get what you mean.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't seem big in stature. Like, he's not. I don't know.
He's not
I don't
imposing.
know. Yeah, he's not imposing. So, with that in mind, Shreyas, do you think maybe they want to go more down the physical kind of dynamic with the player they're assessing?
They could, but right now, from the options that are being available, I think with the kind of system, once again, we're going to be playing next season, we need a mobile and quite agile 6 in that position. Because if we go in for someone, like a destroyer of a 6, then I think a destroyer might struggle in this system. Because this is not the system where you... if that was the case, I don't think Casemiro would have struggled that much as he did last season. Because he's that sort of a player who's quite physical, likes to get stuck in, likes to make those tackles, win the ball back. But that's not the kind of CDM that this team actually needs right now. They need mobility, they need agility, they need someone who can cover a lot of ground and at the same time has the positional sense to be, playing that back three whenever whenever we push forward. So in that aspect, probably, I think for me as well, Neves is someone who I really like. I think if we do end up getting him and Menu, it's quite a young blend of a midfield, which I don't think we've had at United in quite some time. That we've got like a couple of 18 and 19-year-olds playing in the double pivot behind Bruno, and both of them, they've got enough energy in the tank to keep running for the entire 90 minutes, and those are the sort of midfielders Ten Hag would want to be playing in that midfield. The only thing is both of them are hybrids. Like genuinely, both of them are
Yeah.
hybrids. Even Joao Neves likes to push on forward, likes to break through the lines and create opportunities for the striker. So if they are able to find the balance between the two, I think it's quite a balanced midfield, because both of them, they are quite well rounded when it comes to when you talk about midfielders who can play as the 8 and function off as the 6 as well. But the only issue is going to be the price tag with them,
Yeah.
because it can range
You
from
think-
70, 75 or 80.
Do you guys think that could be a little bit too inexperienced, like having both of them playing like side by side? Does that
Yeah, I get what.
a
Yeah,
little bit too
definitely.
inexperienced in the same way? Like it's kind of
It's a
It's
risk.
a very green. Yes, it's a risk. But
so-
I would imagine them playing every single game together. So
Yeah.
maybe if
Yeah.
Amrabat stays, then you could have like a switch or.
To,
But, yeah, I
to
was
combat
just
that though,
wondering what you-
both players, if you like, obviously with Cobb, he plays above his age range. He plays like he's got 500 caps anyway. So for him personally,
Yeah.
we know what we get from him. Nothing phases him. He's played at some of the biggest stadiums, chucked straight into the Euro. Still hasn't got any minutes yet. Well, he's got a couple of minutes, but he should have played more. Same thing with Joao Neves. So all the scout reports I've read, all the coaches who spoke about him, Roberto Martinez with Portugal said he's just taken like a duck to water to everything. And he got in a game in Portugal, the biggest game, it's Benfica versus, is it Sporting?
Porto. Yeah,
Oh, is it
Sporting,
Porto or
yeah.
Sporting? It's one of
I
them.
think.
Porto.
Yeah,
Yeah, in that game he got man of the match. He like stood out. He was the best player on the pitch, so he can take pressure. So the pressure thing wouldn't concern me, but maybe experience to a point where in certain games where like if you're 1-0 up in a Champions League game and you need
What-
that,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
that
That's what I mean.
that I would
Exactly.
say that would where the concern would probably come in, and you'd have to kind of rotate maybe. But that's why I just see the Neves deal being so difficult to do, price wise. Maybe profile doesn't fit.
It's going
what
to
we
be a
want.
gamble either way. Even if we
Yeah.
are actually able to pull through with that deal, it's going to be a gamble, because yes, he has, maybe Bruno can help him blend into that midfield quite well, because they played with each other quite a bit
Yeah,
in that
yeah.
Portugal shirt. So
Yeah.
maybe he can help him out quite a bit with that. And but once again, coming into the Premier League from the Portuguese league, even if it does happen, it's going to take him time. And
Yeah, of
considering
course.
he's quite young, a young sensation, probably being glorified as the next biggest thing in midfield, and then he ends up coming to United as his
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
first ever move. It's
We've
going
seen
to be
that
a
script
hell.
before,
Yeah,
haven't we? Yeah,
yeah,
we know what
yeah.
the crack is with that. Also, as well,
I
you look
think you'll have. Sorry.
No, go.
I think you'll have good, like Lissandro will be there, Dalos there as well from the
Yeah.
Portuguese as well. I
Yeah.
think blending into the squad, I think he'd be able to come in and blend in quite naturally. So, yeah, I mean,
Tough one, isn't it?
can happen.
Because you got to get that right. You've got to get
it's one
that.
of them ones,
Exactly.
Yeah. I look at someone like
sorry, what do you? I was just going to ask you a question. Like, what do you? Oh, my God.
Brain
Literally
gone
have a
blank.
question on
Is it all that ice cream you have?
Squad.
You got brain freeze, mate.
phone.
Was you ask me about the midfielder?
If it comes back. Yeah, I was going to ask you, both of you actually, but yeah, just.
If
carry
it
on.
comes back
We'll
to it,
talk
you
about
just interrupt me if
Yeah.
it comes back to you. I was just going to
Yeah.
mention about Declan Rice. That we look at his situation. He's not a pure 6. Arsenal, when they put Partey or Jorginho next to him, that's when you see him fully unlocked in that sense. So I don't know how it would work with Neves and Mainu. I look at a player like Paulinho, for example, who's gone to Bayern Munich. Well, not gone to
For
Bayern
40
Munich,
million.
sorry. It's
For 40
it's
million, he
close,
might
isn't
go.
it? Like,
Yeah.
we're in talks with him. And like, could we not go for someone like that? You talk about experience, played in the Premier League. He's a pure 6. He'll do the tackling, he'll do the dirty work, energetic. I don't know. I would probably be looking at that deal, to be honest
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah, ideal. That's an ideal. Yes, I remember the question on. Are we the only ones in for Neves?
No.
If you
So
guys know.
Arsenal are looking at him
Okay.
because they want another midfielder, and there was another club as well. I can't remember who it was. But
I
again,
think it was Arsenal, it was Juve, and a Spanish club. I think maybe
Yeah.
Atletico was looking at him.
Yeah. So there's a few clubs in for him, so we're not the only one, as always. So yeah, we'll park the Neves discussion. We'll circle back to that if we can towards the end with the midfield. I want to talk about this Chiesa swap deal. Now look, it's Gazzetta who are reporting it. It's Italian press. 9 times out of 10, these things are nonsense, so I appreciate that, but we're reporting it. So Juventus could offer Federico Chiesa to Manchester United in exchange for Mason Greenwood, because obviously there's 3 clubs interested at the moment. Lazio were the front runners, then Juventus were the front runners, then Dortmund were interested. So there's quite a few clubs that are interested, and maybe Juventus could offer something like this, as kind of make weight which would make the deal a bit more sweeter for United. But we've already spoken about the depth of wingers that we've got, so I don't know how that would work. I'll give my take on Chiesa in a moment, but I'll just get your thoughts. Again, I don't know if you've watched much of him. Shreyas, I'll go to you first on this. Have you seen much of him at all, or yeah?
Look, I would just say there are two sides to his game. One is before he got injured while he was playing at Juve, and then there is the other half.
Yeah.
Before he got injured at Juve, when he just came from Fiorentina to Juventus, he was practically one of the best, wingers you could actually look at in Europe. He was playing very well,
He had an ACL,
naturally
didn't
in
he?
his game. Yeah,
Is it-
yeah. And after that, he's just not been. He has had good stints, but he's not been as consistent and that sort of a winger that he once was
Yeah.
ever since that injury. He's still a solid winger. He's still a solid option who fluctuates as a striker and as a winger. But the only concern for me is, first off, I don't really think that this is the type of signing that United really need right now, a left winger. And he's not even a creative left winger. Once again, he is a left winger who likes to cut in and likes to go for goal every single opportunity that he gets.
Got about 9 of
And
them already, haven't we?
yeah, and once again, even if he comes now, there are still a lot of injury concerns with him. He's not had a full fit season for Juventus ever since that injury. He's been picking up a lot of injuries there. So once again, maybe he can get back to the player that he once was. It is still not out of the possibility, but I just don't think that it is the kind of deal United should be making right now. I think especially for Greenwood, I would like to go in for a deal where we actually get funds, not a swap deal. Especially a swap deal with Chiesa right now is not the right one to go for.
That's what I wanted to mention to you, Chivi. What do they want to spend the money from Greenwood on? Is it directly a winger, or is it another priority? Like that money should be used elsewhere rather than another inconsistent winger, shouldn't it?
I mean, if the reports is true, I mean, this is Juventus all over again. This is what they do, like
Yeah.
This is
and
what
I
they
think
do.
Yeah, this is what they do, and I think we've been down this road so many times, and we need to move away from being seen as Europe's dumping ground. Like
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
Juventus actually rated him, they wouldn't let him go.
Of course.
Basically, they're trying.
They
Yeah,
spent
so
a
they're
lot
trying
of
to
money on him. They spent a lot of money on him.
That's what they do. This is what. So they're just trying to offload him, get a younger, better player. Well, I wouldn't say better player, but just get a younger player that offers them a little bit more dynamism, and then offload him to us. So no, I mean, and just to echo what you said, Shreyas, if this was then when he left Fiorentina and went to Juve, by all means, let's talk. But then now, no, hell no. Like we need the money as well for Greenwood. So.
Exactly.
They're trying to just pull a fast one here. If the reports are true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say no. And I don't think Ineos are even going to entertain that. I
was looking at his stats from last season: 9 goals and 2 assists in 33 games. So it's not mega. It's not mega. I think I look at certain individual qualities, versatility, work rate. He does score crucial goals rather than like the stats won't say that, but he does score big goals in big games. Good dribbler. Quick.
He still has his moments, but it's not the one to go for.
We don't need a moments fucking
exactly.
Player,
and right now with the kind of situation we are in, and Ineos making I highly doubt Ineos would make Chiesa their first signing, their first official signing in this new era, because it just goes against whatever they've been talking about as recruitment for Manchester United. He's just not the player for us.
I think he'll be miserable as well. Like, I don't think there's any Italian speakers in the team. I don't imagine he speaks English. It's a whole new Manchester is completely different. But Altrincham basically is completely different.
Yeah. Hale or Altrincham is the only place he ever stayed.
Exactly, one of them ones. Yeah, so it's going to be completely. I think he'll be miserable.
Agreed. I think we're all in unison on that one. What's people in the chat saying? Let's have a look. Afternoon, everyone. Oh, sorry, I've already read that out. Happy 4-week anniversary, everyone. What's that for? 4-week anniversary? Oh, is that for the FA Cup final? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Sean saying ice cream related, chocolate chip mint is the one. Are we a fan of chocolate chip mint? Or mint choc chip? I think you should probably say it. Mint choc chip.
I don't know how that's going to go down, man.
Have you never had that?
With mint? Nah, never.
Not with mint.
To be fair, I'm not even a big fan of mint.
You never had a mint choc chip ice cream?
No.
What's that, like toothpaste?
Like the green one?
It's going to taste like toothpaste, man.
No, it's actually quite nice, actually. I don't mind it, but okay, fair enough.
You know what put me off? mints. You know the Aero mints, like the Aero chocolate
Aero
mints.
mint,
Like,
yeah,
that put
yeah,
me
yeah,
off.
yeah.
Yeah, that put me off completely. But yeah,
I don't
to
mind
each
that
his own,
either.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you saying like that's the Chiesa of ice creams, the mint flavour, not quite the one
Listen,
that
I'm
is.
a bit of a weirdo, so I'm probably the odd one out. I'm sure everyone kind of likes chocolate chip mints, but yeah.
Well,
For me,
Shreyas is with you, so the general consensus seems to be no one likes fucking
Yeah.
mint. So yeah, sorry Sean, no one likes mint chocolate chip, mate. Saying I'm at Xerxes again. Did someone say De Jong? No, they didn't. Absolutely not. Could Amrabat fill that gap, says Brian, gone quiet on the Sofyan front?
He
Yep.
could.
He
For the
could.
price
He
that is
could.
being quoted, I think we need to go for him for the price that is
I
being
think
quoted
he
because
has to stay.
yeah, because
Yeah.
where else are we going to get another defensive midfielder for 13 to 17 million? Honestly.
Yeah.
And who else? And to add to that, I mean, he's the type of defender that knows his role, and
Yeah.
so he'll be more than happy to stay at the back.
Yep.
Do you understand? And then give Kobe the freedom to sort of bomb forward, because Kobe is really effective in the final third as well. So
He
yeah,
genuinely gives us
that's
an
a good
option.
shout, Brian.
He gives us an
Yeah.
option in that midfield because otherwise it's once again we get one midfielder and we're not able to offload McTominay, then it's going to be the same cycle
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone just
So you
put
need
Dino
players where
put.
they'll
I thought.
allow-
Sorry, shall we go?
No, please go on.
I was just reading out a comment. Dino put. I thought PSG wanted Neves too. That was the other club that I was trying to think of. PSG are in for him.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They was offering a lot of money. Yes to mint choc chip, says Tim99. He's on the mint choc chip board. So it's quite divisive. Is that the right word? I can't remember it. Divisive. Is that how you say it?
Divisive. I think
Where it's like
divisive.
splits opinion.
Division. So divisive, yes.
It's divisive, isn't it?
Doesn't sound right.
I know that doesn't sound right to
decisive.
me either. It's what?
Decisive.
No, decisive
No,
is when you
that's
make a
different.
decision. I'm saying like
Decision.
when something splits an opinion,
Division.
it's divisive. I'm sure.
Ten Hag.
Well, yeah, like that
Yeah,
was a
exactly.
divisive topic. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, absolutely. Divisive topic.
Yeah, no, I think we're right, Nick. I think it's divisive.
Yeah, I'm overthinking this.
Just it sounds,
The more I
weird.
say it, you know when you say a word so many
Yeah.
times, it just you like what the fuck does that even mean? The ice cream show. Everyone's just taking over this chat in a minute. They're just going on about ice cream. If we literally started something here, get your favourite ice creams in the chat. There you go. I'll throw mine out towards the end. Right, let's discuss Luke Shaw. Just the last one before we get into like towards the end of the show. So Sky Sports reported before he's missed another England training session and remains a huge doubt to feature at all at Euros 2024. Chiva, first and foremost, what's the fucking point in taking him? Honestly,
Why?
at this point.
Why? Literally, I was literally just that's what I was going to say. Like, why did he go? Why did he go? Like, I remember. Do you remember when? Well, it's a while ago, so you guys probably when Paul Scholes like dropped out of the England squad. He was like, man, getting injured. I have eye problems. I'd rather just leave it.
Got eye
focus on-
problems. That sounds like the most bullshit fucking excuse ever, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, because he has a glaucoma, whatever it is.
Yeah, it just sounds. Can you imagine that though? Like, I can't come to it. I've got
Yeah.
eye problems. Like, what?
Exactly.
Your vision's incredible, mate, on the pitch. What are you talking shit for?
It's Collington. Hold on. I can't make
Yeah.
it today, mate. Why?
Yeah,
Got eye problems.
you've been there, innit? Everyone's been there with work. You're like, oh, sorry, fucking. Oh, Shreyas is gone.
Yeah.
I think.
Good. All right.
Go on. Well,
But
he'll
yeah,
come back.
Yeah, why? Like, what's the point? And then it just makes it worse. Now we can't sell him. Like, even if we wanted to sell him, who's going to buy him?
That's it, innit? And also, as well,
Yeah.
his fitness long term is an issue, innit? Like, I can't see him being fit for the majority of next season. That's the big concern I've got. And then we've got issues again at left back. So maybe this is why Ineos are looking at it, so seriously.
It's just ridiculous, man. And like, I know Sam has always been one of those ones I wanted to get rid of Shaw. Like, Sam's been calling for it for a long time, and I've always been like, yeah, let's just keep him and then use him sparingly. But now, like, at some point, you have to take responsibility for some of these things. Like, it's unfortunate. Some players can help it, like they're injury prone, but then it's also on you as a player to understand your body, understand what you put it through, and you have to preserve yourself sometimes. Like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what, he's gone to the Euros. I don't know what he's trying to achieve. He wants to get a cap. It's really not, he could have just stayed at home.
Yeah.
Really. And just given the opportunity to someone else.
Yeah, I'm sure he's frustrated himself. Look, it's not their fault, is it? It's one of them. Like we know with injuries, there's nothing you can do about it. But going into next season, it's like a slight concern, isn't it, Shreyas, in that sense?
It definitely is, because once again, right now the best squad that we have is with is when Luke Shaw is a part of this team, and he not only he as a left back, but even as a centre back, the kind of performances that he has had for us, he does bring a lot to this team. And him being functioning centre back for us alongside of Lindelof, or whether it's been Varane or Lisandro, he has been quite versatile and quite good in that role as well. So, but I do think that with Luke Shaw, we really need to assess the situation, be quite careful, because we cannot go into next season with two players in our back line not being fit for 6 or 8 months, and just having like 10 or 12 appearances. We cannot go into another season in that way. We need to have some sort of balance in that line where players are in a position where they can give 30 or 35 games a season at least. And Luke Shaw has not been able to do that, and for quite some time. With Lisandro, it's at least been like he's been rushed back quite a lot of times, you know, and the medical department really hasn't been at it. But with Luke Shaw, it's been ages. He's
Yeah.
only had one fit full season, and even in that one fit full season, he's had a couple of injuries. So I think with Luke Shaw, we really need to assess our options and look into probably someone. I don't know whether we'll get someone who's going to be as good as Luke Shaw when it comes to playing as a left back and even as a centre back. But we do need to expand our search when it comes to our left back, because I think that defensive line, it needs a lot of reinforcements. Even I would say, even if we are not able to get in another midfielder, we just sign Amrabat for next season. Maybe it ends up being that situation, but we at least have a fit left back, a fit right back, and a couple of fit centre backs. The season would genuinely go a lot better.
I think Dallo was the only one who was the constant last season in the team, in the back four.
Yeah.
The only one who ever stayed fit, whether it was left back or right back. He was the only one. And then the rest, it was like, it's Maguire and Evans, it's Evans and Sancho, it's Varane and fucking Lindelof. It's Lindelof at left back, and like, oh my God.
Casemiro and Maguire,
Casemiro and
Evans.
Evans. Oh my God.
And I'm worried about Dallo as well, because like with the way international football, football in general is going back, there's more games.
Yeah, relentless.
So I don't even know how long Portugal is going to go in the tournament. If he gets
last season, whichever game he played the full 90.
That's what I'm saying. So then if he gets a break, and then the next season starts, and then and then we've seen that happen to so many players. They just get burnt out.
Yeah.
When does preseason start?
So it starts on the 15th of July, I think.
Yeah, so
a day, 2 days after the Euros. Yeah. And then, so we do that. Insane. And then before the Premier League, we play City in the Community Shield, don't forget.
Yeah.
And then the Premier League kicks off. And then you've got expanded Champions League fixtures. You're going to have Carabao Cup ties in the same weeks as these as well. Like, everything's just extending.
And
FIFA and UEFA are both putting more and more games in for more money. You referenced the Ratcliffe thing at the start, the interview.
Yeah.
And I listened to that last night, falling asleep, weirdly enough, but I just couldn't find any content to listen to. So I was listening to that interview. And he was speaking about, because he asked him about the Club World Cup, are they going to go? And he was saying, it depends on the players, because, like, the fixture congestion is ridiculous. Like, asking him to play at that high level, especially how athletic the game is at the moment, the standards is just, I mean, Varane speaks about it. All the experienced people in football talk about how stupid it is. And it's going to get to a point where you're going to need, like, 40-man squads to deal with the volume of games that you're playing.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Yeah. But I think, just to kind of circle back on Luke Shaw, I think that's going to be, it's a huge miss for England. I'm telling you. Again, I don't know if you have watched many games of England in this tournament, but oh my God, that left side.
I watched the Denmark game in totality. Like, I watched the full game.
It's so dead, that left side. Trippier at left back, right-footed left back. Foden's just been shoehorned in on the left because Southgate ain't got the balls to drop a big player. And
if things actually went Denmark's way, they could have won that game.
It was the better team. They was the better team in that game. And do you know what? This speaks to my point, because we were talking about balance and bringing certain players in. Denmark were a better team because they've played together before. They've got the right players in the right positions, and it's just balanced throughout the full squad. England don't have that. They're just fucking putting guys in left, right. Trent in midfield, Foden on the left. Like, it doesn't work.
Trent in midfield isn't working. Genuinely,
does not work
at all.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
No.
It looks in principle, like I kind of understood it,
Yeah.
initially when he did it in the first game, because in principle it kind of makes sense, but when you put it down to practice, like it does not make sense. He's not a natural midfielder.
You can
He's
see
just
that.
not, he's got qualities of a midfielder, but then he's not a natural midfielder. You need to, because you could see like sometimes when Gallagher came on, there was a little bit of stability, even though the game didn't improve. But he just looked more natural in that position.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And he's got
Go on
the
then,
thing
man.
is Southgate has actually got options. You've got Kobe Manu, you've got that Adam Wharton
He's
Adam
not brave.
Wharton.
from
He's
Palace
not
as
brave
well.
enough.
Yeah, he's not brave enough.
to.
He ain't got the balls.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Because you look at least in this last game now, you're like, look, you drew to Denmark. You beat Serbia 1-0, but Serbia in that second half were all over us. Like, we just sat back.
Yeah, moving into the later stages, if England
We're gonna
pull
get
up
beat.
against France or the
100%.
Netherlands or even I would say Austria, the way Austria have been playing in this tournament, Rangnick, the way that he's got them playing.
You know what happened in the Serbia game? Like they gave England way too much respect in the first half, and I think they came out in the second half thinking, you know what, we can actually go at these lot and actually do
They
something.
looked at it tactically, and it was like they've got Kane dropping deep. We just follow him, and there's no runners in behind. So you just press up the pitch because you've got nothing to worry about him there. And that's why I don't know why Marcus didn't take Marcus or someone. It just doesn't mean, I don't know.
The Slovenia game is going to be the litmus test. Like he has to show everyone that he can change it, and he's brave enough to make those decisions because everyone's saying it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see, man.
Well, I don't know. Sticking with the Euros, and this we'll kind of finish on this. I don't know if you saw the France and Netherlands game. Did you watch it first and foremost?
I did. I watched it yesterday,
That decision. That is, I'm still. If I was in England, if that was England and that happened in a game in a significant, like in a knockout stage, it didn't have as much importance because it was obviously it's a group game. They're probably both going to go through on 4 points, because like the highest placed third. But come on, that decision was absolutely awful, man. I couldn't believe it.
Did you see the goalkeeper, Mike Manier? Like as soon as he went in, he was like, "Oh shit! Oh, there's a player here."
Yeah. So he didn't dive.
Like,
he didn't dive. Yeah.
He was.
He had no intention to dive.
No.
He didn't see it.
Yeah.
He didn't see it, so he wasn't going to go for it. Like
you could go on Google Google Pixel and you could remove the player. Right, and you could see that it still wouldn't have had an effect. He was nowhere near that ball. He was absolutely nowhere near it. It was going in. I was gutting because I like Xavi Simons as well. I think he deserved that goal. Like they've been on the back foot a little bit.
And you could see that Dumfries was like walking. He wasn't even active. Like he was walking.
Did
literally
nothing.
Was like walking away. He was literally walking away when it happened. So
shocker. Absolute shocker. Shreyas, who's your after all the teams that you've watched so far? Who's your favourite? Do you think? Who's impressed you the most?
I don't think they'll win, but Austria actually impressed me a lot.
They play exciting football, don't they? Tempo, pressing.
The Turkey-Georgia game, I didn't expect it to be as exciting as it turned out to be.
Gula, your boy, innit?
Yeah,
I think of that.
One heck of a goal he scored as well. But apart from that, most of the games have actually been, quite exciting. Like genuinely, this
Very
Euros,
good tournament
most
so
of those
far.
games as well. I think there was this one game with Albania where they scored in the first 2 minutes or something, and then they ended up drawing or losing that game. But all of the games mostly have been quite decent. So, and even once again these teams as well. I think the group with Belgium, Ukraine, and Romania, and one other team. That group has once again Romania beating Ukraine 3-0. So it's been a lot of
Ukraine yesterday as well, coming back from 1-0 down and winning 2-1 as well.
Yeah. And I just have one question: how are Belgium still ranked third in the?
It's
FIFA
crazy,
rankings?
isn't it? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Mate, I said they'd flop. I'd said they would flop. I'm telling you that. They're most like
the most disappointing team I would say have been Belgium.
With the talent that they've got, they really, really are, man. I don't know. I just never liked Belgium. That sounds really bad, doesn't it? I just never. I don't know. Anyway, Chive, who's impressed you the most? What would you say?
Man.
Yeah.
You like the look of Spain?
Yeah.
Nico Williams.
Jamal and Williams on the wing.
Yeah. But then they've kind of moved away from like the typical tiki-taka style of football. Kind of like it's almost like a hybrid of that, and then there's a little bit more conservatism in the way they play, and I really like it.
Yeah,
I'm impressed by that.
I'm excited for the knockout stages. Well, not because England are going to be competing because they'll get knocked out in the first round. I think if we keep setting up how we do, but in terms of
there is this one player on the Spain team, Fabian Ruiz. He impressed me a lot.
Chivy loves him.
Yeah,
Yeah, big
He's
fan.
love
he's
him, man. I love him.
been
Do you know
absolutely
when he
amazing
scored
for
in
them.
that first game? That's who I thought of instantly because you mentioned him like a week before, I think, Chiver, on a show when you was like, Fabian Ruiz, man, this kid's fucking
Oh
yeah. And then he scored, and I was like,
but he goes
oh.
under the radar. He goes
He
under
does.
the radar. Like
Yeah,
that.
I think the coach. Do you see what the coach said about him? It was like, it was caught after that specific game, and he said, "You don't understand how good Fabian Ruiz is. He's super
Yeah.
underrated. People start to notice now how good he is, and yeah, he took his goal really well. Looks like a top player. So, yeah, of course we've got a couple of games today, haven't we? We've got Portugal, Turkey run out there. You got who's the Georgia and someone else? I think at 2
Georgia
o'clock.
and Georgia and Czech Republic.
Czech Republic, and then 8 o'clock. I can't remember. Is it Belgium who are on?
Belgium and the other team.
Yeah,
I'll
I
just
can't
check
remember.
once more.
I'm
So,
gonna
yeah.
be watching that one.
Nah, if I get any Belgium game, I'm just fucking not
Belgium and
watching it at all.
Romania.
Yeah,
and
Belgium, Romania. I hope Romania beat them. Let's be honest.
Come on,
They
Um,
might. They
yeah.
might.
Yeah. Right, we'll leave it at that then, because obviously it is the weekend, so let people enjoy their weekend. People still going on about ice cream. There's a chocolate orange ice cream in Dunstore that's elite. Pretty sure there's a similar one in Marks and Sparks. Very interesting. If you're shopping in Marks and Spencer's, Brian, you must have a bit of wonga. Special offer today. I thought that was going to be about ice cream, but Richard's on about the membership in the chat. £2.99 a month. If you want to join the membership, then please do. If you want to become a Real Red Ultra member, click the link in the description. Southgate needs to drop some players and rotate. Bring in Kobe, Palmer, Eze. Man's got no balls whatsoever.
Yeah, Eze as well. Eze could be used a lot more.
Yeah. Well, that's Southgate for you. Right, we'll leave that at that, lads. Thank you very much to Chive and Shreyas for taking time out the weekend to join us on the show. Appreciate you, brothers. And we'll all see you in the